Hi, my name's Phil Gardner and welcome to Fun with Boxes. Well, today we're going to take a look back at what we got up to at AireCon Northwest in Manchester, which was, spoiler warning, absolutely fantastic. Or should I say, absolutely fabulous. Because that's what it was. And like any convention we go to, it all starts with a train journey and is closely followed by some nutrients in liquid form, of which we are, of course, quite fond of. And as with all our train journeys, if we are fortunate enough to get ourselves a table, then of course board games will commence. And we did manage to get an absolutely cracking game of Jekyll and Hyde in, and this was our first time of playing it, and it really was good, apart from the fact that I really was terrible at it. And when I say terrible, I really do mean shockingly bad. But never mind, I enjoyed Lisa beating me on multiple occasions in front of other rail passengers. Okay, never mind. And we got there on Thursday evening and met up with our good friend Stephen, who was staying at the same hotel with us. So of course, board games followed, some drinks followed of course, and a rather splendid meal. An amazing ramen in actual fact. Wow, if you're in Manchester and get a chance to go to this restaurant, I would highly recommend it. One of the best ramens I've ever had. And then we met up with Libby and Julian from Boxed Meatballs, and we saw on Facebook that there's a board game group in Manchester that gets together most Thursdays in the pub called the Old Monkey. So we had to pop along to say hello and to, of course, to have a lovely game. And what more fun than poetry for Neanderthals? Oh, there was much bonking on the head there. And then the following morning we popped for a lovely breakfast and of course some liquid nourishment just to steady the nerves there, ready for us going to day one of AireCon. And as we left our hotel to head towards the convention, I had to say hello to my new friend there. What a marvellous little friend this is. Always busy cleaning, but always stops to say hello to us. But not actually speaking hello, obviously, but the thought was there, I guess. And then into the convention itself, which is always such a wonderful experience there. Meeting the volunteers at the desk, who we've gotten to know very well now over the years. And then going into the hall itself, passing Hachette games and saying hello to Flav, and then into the convention centre itself and straight into playing some wonderful games and of course bumping into wonderful friends. There are many events held at AireCon, and one of those is the AireCon bingo event, which we always like to pop along and have a little go. It was of course brilliant fun. We weren't lucky enough to win this year, and our good friend Libby managed to win a game of Moonraker whilst playing bingo, so that was great fun for her. But later that evening, the event that me and Lisa were very much looking forward to, and that was of course the Belgian beer tasting. And oh wow, did we try a number of Belgian beers. In fact, we tried 11 altogether. It was quite a miraculous thing to actually leave standing upright. Mark, of course, did a rather sterling job there, talking us all through the Belgian beers, even if Lisa and Mark's mother weren't particularly paying attention. They were too busy having their own Belgian beer tasting and a little chat. Mark's mother and Lisa together are a combination to be wary of, or at least they make Mark weary. But everyone had a cracking time, and we met some lovely people on our table who were enjoying the various drinks that we were having, and Mark had provided some special Belgian beer glasses so that we could get the proper experience there, and it was tremendous. Another thing, if you ever get a chance to have a go at the beer tasting, it's just a brilliant laugh. Of course, it can't all be fun because you will inevitably bump into somebody like Ben Maddox, for example. And our good friend Ben Maddox had just landed and got to AireCon, but unfortunately missed the start of the beer tasting. Oh no, but he did make up the time lost, fair play to him. And here are all the beers that we had. Look at these wonderful bottles, all various, different, each distinctive, and each rather pleasant, I thought. And then the next day, of course, after a quick bit of breakfast and possibly some liquid refreshment, back into AireCon for Saturday. And Saturday was a lot fuller there, and the shops and various stalls had opened up, so that was really good to see. And they had a variety of stores there, all selling various different things, and there were at least two companies there that were showing off and demoing their games, so that was very nice to see too. And of course the AireCon library is there for you to choose a game and take it, sit down and play. You can get what I can only describe as a lightsaber to hold and indicate that you were looking for somebody to play with or looking for somebody to teach you a game. And there was a lot of that going on, loads of people joining in and helping each other and having an absolutely brilliant time. And the one game they had in the library that we were super chuffed to have a look at was Comic Hunters. And we'd heard so much about this from watching the Dice Tower. I was super pleased to be able to get a game of this in. And it was really good. Well worth the hype. So I'll be looking forward to picking up a copy of that when it's available here in the UK. Lisa had signed us up for the Crocol tournament. So it was me, Lisa, Stephen and Libby as well joining in there to take part in the Crocol Championship. We are not the best Crocol players, of course, especially with my shaky hands there, though some could argue perhaps it could give me a slight advantage. Who knows? It was great fun taking part. We didn't make it through to the quarterfinals, of course, but it's the taking part that counts. And we did get to play on these rather splendid Crocol tables, and Steve from Maplewood was there to demo all his wonderful tables where the competition took place. And after the competition was over, and indeed before the competition, those tables were freely available for everyone to join and have a go. And we've seen many different people enjoying themselves with a lovely game of Crocol. And I must admit, I am a big fan of this game. I just like it more and more. Wonderful. And of course, you get to meet some tremendous people when you're playing there. Some very good Crocol players, to be fair. But like I said, it's the taking part that's fun. If you happen to win a few games, that's great. But it's not the end of the world if you lose. One of the events following that was our traditional AireCon Just 100 event, which is always great fun to play, where you get a room full of people all playing just one on separate tables, and then some tables join together to make a bigger group, and then eventually you got everyone in the hall playing a game of just one. It is quite fantastic and really good fun. But the event that I was really looking forward to, that took place later on Saturday, and that was the Hot Ones Challenge there, done by the Dice Tower and Ben Maddox, and it was fantastic. It was a Q and R, I believe, due to the hotness of the sauces there. And here are the sauces that the Dice Tower and Ben consumed. It was fantastic. And Z, Camilla and Mike, wow, they were fantastic sports. Especially Mike, who thought he was going to bow out after the second bottle. And fair play to him, he stuck in there. Oh, and boy, did he look in pain at some times. Oh, indeed. And of course, when they got to the bomb, well, that's when everything fell apart, of course, because if any of you have tried the bomb chili sauce, you will know it's rather horrific, to be honest, and extremely and unnecessarily hot. Oof.
Oh my God. It's not just hot, it's really unpleasant. Yes, that's hot. I'm not reacting to the heat. Now I'm reacting to the heat. Hold on. Whoa. Disgusting. Here come the hiccups. I can tell.
That was something to see. So again, if you ever get to an AireCon event where they're doing a hot wings challenge there, I would highly recommend going along to that. That is just absolute brilliant fun. And Ben was the one who was doing all the questioning, and it was really fascinating to listen to Z, Camilla and Mike answer Ben's questions. It was really brilliant. And like I say, the Dice Tower folk were absolute troopers. What a bunch of lovely people. They were really great sports and great fun. But the fun with the Dice Tower did not end there. Oh no, there was an American versus British quiz, and it was spectacular fun. I have never seen anything like it in my life. What the Dice Tower thought of some of the questions and our British answers, I just do not know. It was absolutely hilarious. Dan Hughes there comparing the event. It was fantastic. I wish, if you weren't there, I wish you had been there, because it was really superb. And the standout moment for me was Mike DeLisio. Oh my goodness. Oh, he was absolutely hilarious. Oh, I haven't laughed so much for a long time. Oh, it was absolutely brilliant there, where Mike was playing, I don't know what you call them, one of those whistle flute things that you move with your fingers. I'll put a clip up here. Who knew he had such a talent? Because he would have to play a song on this flute whistle thing, and Z and Camilla would have to guess what the song is that he's playing. And Flav joined in as well with the fun, as well did two spectators from the audience. They came in there and were having a whale of a time. But my goodness, Mike DeLisio, you are missing a trick here. You could go global with this whistling malarkey. Who knows, you could take this on a world tour and sell out all the world stadiums, because I'm sure people would be clamouring just to hear your whistle flute playing.
No. Is there one really long song? Well, he's laughing.
In all seriousness, it was tremendous fun. I had an absolute brilliant time at that. And again, like I've said before, Mike, Z and Camilla, wow, fantastic people. They are up there for a laugh. To be fair, they were up there and having a good old time. It was brilliant. If you ever get a chance to see the Dice Tower at a convention, or go along to the Dice Tower conventions that they hold in America, I would strongly recommend it. They are very nice people indeed. And then, what better to follow that than to play with Lisa's beavers? She loves people playing with her beavers and is more than happy for people to take a look at her beavers at any time. And indeed we had the rather wonderful couple, Sinjin and Ruth, who enjoyed this wonderful game of Beaver Creek. Ah, what fun, what fun. Again, as you can imagine, with my essential tremor. Playing dexterity games like this is a challenge in of itself, and of course does result in rather disastrous occurrences, as beavers fall off the logs, or logs fall off the beavers, or indeed logs and beavers fall off the board. It was brilliant fun, and Ruth and St. John had a brilliant time, I must admit. And St. John is such a lovely person. He bought me another penguin of him and Ruth, a positive penguin, because he knows how anxious I get at big events like this, or to be honest, at any event, small or big. He got me this positive penguin. Oh, I may be a tiny penguin, but I believe in you. Go do your thing. What a lovely, lovely thing to do. I am so chuffed with my positive penguin. I'm going to take it with me everywhere. Ah, thank you very much for this awesome gift. And to round off the evening, we managed to catch up with Libby and Julian and their friend Ryan, who is now our friend Ryan as well. What a smashing chap, along with our good friend Stephen. And Stephen was showing them how to play Spirit Island. And from the looks of things, there were a few ups and downs and some general board game shenanigans going on there. Unfortunately, due to the convention all closing, the game had to come to an end, but I think it was probably a good thing. And then before you know it, it's Sunday. Oh, where does the time go? Unbelievable. Sunday, the last day of the convention. So of course we came into the conference hall there, proudly showing our badges to the volunteers, and had to take some pictures. What wonderful people these are. But before we got into the convention, across the road was a rather wonderful restaurant for some breakfast. And indeed, they supplied things that are called vodka screwdrivers or something. They were quite pleasant to have with your breakfast, I must admit. And it was a German restaurant, I believe, or a German-themed restaurant. And the food there was absolutely fantastic, as well was the vodka screwdriver. It's essential to get your vitamin C in, I think, first thing in the morning. So what better way to do it than like that? And into the convention, and we met up with Steve again from Maplewood and had a quick go on his crokinole tables. And then Steve wanted to play Last Light, a game that I really, really enjoy. And they had it there in the library, so Lisa checked it out and we set it all up, and then Lisa started to teach. And this is where you need to know the Steve rule, or Stephen rule. Yes, I didn't know there was such a thing as a Steve rule. However, there is. So if you're not aware of this particular rule, then let me give you this public health safety announcement or message now into your very own ears, because you need to be fully aware of this rule should you ever encounter two Stevens or more in the wild. You see, Lisa was trying her best to deliver the rules to the two Stevens there. Well, there was one Steve Maplewood, and one Stephen. And the two of them paid no attention at all to the teach, talked over it, guffawed over it, laughed over it. And of course, when we started playing, well, both Steve and Stephen had lots of questions, funnily enough, about how the game works. So the rule is there that you should never play a game with two Steves, or a Steve and a Stephen, or a Stephen and a Stephen, or you know, two of them. Anyway, don't. Just stick with the one. Oh dear, Steve and Stephen. And it was great meeting our old friends that we've met over the years at various AireCons, and meeting new people as well. And we've met some fabulous, fabulous people, which to me is one of the main reasons I enjoy AireCon so much. It's just so friendly Everyone there is so friendly and helpful. People are willing to jump in and help out with the rules or help somebody or play a game with somebody who sat there on their own. It is such a welcoming community. It is quite exceptional, I think. And the volunteers that work there, they are the best. Absolutely lovely, lovely people. And what I was hoping for very nearly happened, or at least it very nearly happened to me. I never like to ask people to have photographs, but I was really, really looking forward to getting a picture with Z, Camilla and Mike. I was hoping for it and building up the courage there to ask them. But first I had a call of nature that I had to attend to, and when I came back, lo and behold, Lisa had had her picture with Mike, Z and Camilla, and sadly I missed out. I guess there's always another time, isn't it? So AireCon was drawing to a close, and I have to say, Mark, my goodness, you are a splendid chap. Not only are you extremely knowledgeable about Belgian beers, and any other beer for that matter, but you actually run these fantastic AireCon conventions. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Mark. You are a gentleman and a scholar. And then what better way to round off the evening but to go for a lovely Italian, with our good friends St. John and Ruth, and our new friend Stefan. That's another Stephen, isn't it? Or another Steve. And it was really lovely to spend some time with Stefan and get to know him a little bit more there over a rather pleasant meal, marred only by the company of Ben Maddox, of course. But you can't win them all, can you really? But seriously, what marvellous company Ben is. Him and St. John were just riffing off each other all throughout the meal. It was absolute brilliant fun, really, really, really good fun. What a pleasant way to spend the last evening there at AireCon, having a rather wonderful Italian meal with some truly wonderful, wonderful company. I wish I could do it again. I really do. Even though Ben seems to be rather annoyed with me for some. As we travelled by train, we didn't buy too many games at the convention. There were plenty of games to be bought there, and plenty of stalls there to buy a load of different things that are board game related. But we always love to go to the Hachette stand, and of course always love to meet Flav, who is an incredible human being. My goodness, I've never seen anybody with so much energy and happiness. He is a ray of sunshine to the world in general. What a wonderful, wonderful human being Flav is. I love him. You just want to give him a hug, or as we say in Wales, give him a lovely cwtch. And we were rather pleased to pick up Chronologic Paris 1920 from Hachette Games, and we were really chuffed to get this because we were trying to get hold of a copy in the UK Games Expo, and we met the designers. I'm going to get these names terribly wrong here. Fabian Gridel and Johan Levitt. I hope I got that right. And we met the designers, and they showed us how the game worked. They were really, really lovely people. But unfortunately, the deliveries never got there in time, I don't believe. So we were super chuffed to pick up a copy of this game. And we picked up a few little odds and ends. Nothing big, just some small box games, which we really enjoy our small box games. And on Monday morning, slightly exhausted after such a wonderful weekend, we had to make our way back home to South Wales. So of course we popped in for some liquid nourishment just to steady us for the journey, and then we had quite a long trek back home. And when we got home to Wales, to where we live, of course the Welsh weather was at its best, and it was absolutely hammering down. Rain bouncing off the pavements there, and all I had on was my AireCon t-shirt and my trusty baseball hat. And We were completely soaked by the time we got in, but who cares? Who cares? It was all well worth it. Well, there you go. That's what we got up to at AireCon Northwest in Manchester this year. And already I cannot wait for next year. If you've never been to a board game convention, I would strongly suggest you start out with an AireCon. They truly are fantastic, and at the moment there are 3 being run each year. One in Harrogate in March, the one now in Manchester in August, and then I believe October then is the 3rd one, which will be at Telford. So if you live anywhere near any of these places, I would strongly recommend popping along and having a look, especially if you've never been to a board game convention before. They really are welcoming and wonderful, wonderful places to go. Well, I hope you enjoyed having a look at this video with me. Please click the old like button and also hit that subscribe button if you wouldn't mind. That would be fantastic and really help to grow the channel. And in the meantime, as always, please do take care and bye for now.